I'm working on refining my I help statement. How do I make it clear? So you said bridge the gap between feeling anxiety about money and a sense of relief. Okay, so this is island A, and then this is island B. So island A is the problem, island B is the result. Okay, and then this, I do this by acknowledging how difficult it is to talk about money with a family member, let alone a complete stranger. Then I listen and coach you from where you're at in the moment. So this is the point of view. So in niching, there's some niches that they're narrow and deep, and some that are shallow and wide. And this one feels shallow and wide, right? Kind of general anxiety about money. It's probably a lot of people have it. In fact, I'd say most people have it. But then this
Yep.
becomes the trouble in the niche of, okay, this is most people. And the feeling and sense of relief and financial freedom, again, fairly general, fairly broad. So I think there's more honing to do. There's a few directions you can go in with this. One, is there a type of person that you'd like to help who's feeling anxious? So this can be by like profession, by role. There's certain demographics like entrepreneurs or mothers or people in this community. Yeah, doctors, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers. So you can pick that, but also it might be a psychographic, not a demographic. It might be a community. Like I like to work with people in the Burning Man community who are feeling a sense of this. I like to work with people who are part of this scene. I work with Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, pagans, whatever. So you could narrow it in that way. And then there's also narrowing the situation. And this is important to remember with niche. Your niche is a situation. It's not a sensation. It's not a general feeling. We're going for a much more specific thing where is this, for example, they can't pay the bills? Is it they just got hit by a big expense? Is this they're deep in debt? Is this?
It's really people who are going through a transition. So whether it's an expected, regular, old life transition or an unexpected transition of any kind, you
Okay, so
know,
let's just pause there. So
yeah,
here's the trouble.
any kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
And everything in life is a transition.
Yeah,
We're just going through one right now. And every breath we take is a So the more we narrow, the frame that we can use is going through a transition such as boom, 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 and then give it
right.
a top three.
Divorce, loss, and maybe like a career move or something like that. But
Okay.
I tend to want it to be messier. Whatever's like the messiest of the transitions you can go through. That's where I want to be with people.
When you say messy, what is it? How do you mean messy as a transition?
Well, I guess so. There's those transitions where it's like, oh, I just got an inheritance, and it wasn't because the person who I really love died. It was because they're still alive and they wanted to gift me money, and I'm really excited. I need to know how to deal with that money. That's really nice, but I'm not your person. You did just go through a devastating loss, and at the same time, you're losing your house because of something else, and you are frozen in time about what to do next. And yet, you need to know that you're okay. You need somebody to help you get from this overwhelm to a place of at least calm enough to be able to make the next decision.
Are you saying you kind of get lit up by like these really messy financial crises where it's like this is an impossible situation and there's like 20 things happening at once and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm drowning, like that lights you up?
Yeah. Yeah, like where there's chaos. Yeah, I can help people wade through that.
Okay, great. So that's not here in what you wrote. Yeah. Which is all good. But that's compelling. It's like, are you in a genuine financial crisis, a chaotic financial crisis where suddenly a lot of things have to happen very quickly and you're totally overwhelmed, you're drowning, and you're scared like, oh my God. It's like you're in a car and you've been driving fast. Now you're taking this corner too fast. And oh God, is my car gonna flip? I'm gonna die. Like, how do I round this corner? This kind of thing. Which, by the way, it's helpful to think of metaphors for all of you. It's worth really thinking through for my ideal client, what does it feel like is happening for them? It's not actually what's happening, but do they feel like they're being buried alive? Do they feel like they're drowning? Do they feel like, because that can be very helpful sometimes in naming our things, but also headlines or just communicating in a way that they see the relevance. So there's a couple directions you can go. One is you really hone the nature of what you mean by crisis and you give a few examples of it, but you give the kind of tenor of it in such a way that your ideal client would read and say, God, that's totally me right now. The second one is you pick one specific type of disaster like divorce. and you say, okay, and you just laser in on that. I'll say that second one would be easier. It's going to be clear what the hubs are, etc. And then you just say, yeah, okay, you went through a divorce and it's a real mess because you got property to deal with, and then there's alimony and child support or whatever, debt, and how are you gonna? I got your back. Because then somebody's going to read that and it's like, that's me right now, which is the relevance thing. That's what we're aiming as. They say, that's me. Oh my God. Now, if you do the broader thing, then I would make sure to name the top three specific types of crises, right near the top of the page or in the headline. It's like you're going through a financial crisis, such as boom, 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 right? And what you're wanting is boom. Now, what they want is, I mean, some relief, financial freedom is probably a bit lofty. They're probably in a crisis. They're not thinking, I want financial freedom, but it's like, I just need to get to the other side of this crisis, right?
I'm thinking like that they need to know that they're okay, at least for the moment, that they're
I
okay.
My guess is you want them to feel okay. I don't know if they would come to you saying that. This is so important. Like,
Yeah.
what are they saying? Because I get that you saying, "Hey, you're okay. You're going to be okay," is affirming and feels good to them,
Well,
but
after the work is done, yeah.
yeah, but it feels nice to have somebody with some expertise say, "Hey, it's going to be okay. I got you." And
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's going to be the craving, but honestly, sometimes the craving is just you want this problem dealt with. That's as far as I've gotten. I've got migraines. I want the migraine to go away.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to help make this crisis go away is a legitimate island B, I think. And I just think financial freedom is probably like that's an island C. You see it as possible. They're not thinking about it.
Right,
So
right, right.
but there's Island Z, which is Island Z is the fear they have of what's going to happen if they
Okay.
don't deal with it. And my guess is that might be the dominant thing here more than the current problem. It's like the current problem is something, but then it's like, oh shit, if I don't deal with this.
Yeah.
So then that can also help hone the nature of the crisis. Like, you're in a type of crisis that you're scared will deliver you to being a bag lady, being homeless, or whatever it is. Like, this is that type of crisis, is you're scared it will put you to this specific place. And if you can hone that and all your clients have that fear in common, that's also a way it can be refined. What's interesting too, it's good to know, not that direction one way or the other, but if you go with divorce or something like that, you'll still get a bunch of clients who aren't going through a divorce because those clients who have gone through a divorce will have friends in a crisis and they'll send people to you because it's like, oh my God, Jennifer was amazing. She totally like got us out of that fire. So there can be that.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some thoughts. I don't know if that helps at all.
It really helps. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome.